Welcome to Subramani. I'm doing a vlog today on why I think doctors are not able to manage their money well. I'm not saying why they don't earn well early because they start earning late, but I'm talking about why doctors don't manage their money well. Well, there are many things. First of all, it's a very great, esteemed profession, and they have very conflicting views on wealth and money. Largely, there are those who think it's a great virtue that they don't take any referral fees or euphemism for whatever it is called from others, and they run a very honest practice. If you run an honest practice, that's a choice that you made. That's all. It's not a virtue, right? And having made a choice that you want to be honest, it's perfectly all right, because there will always be somebody who is dishonest. An honest doctor should not compare himself to a dishonest doctor. That is the biggest cause of misery. You made the choice of being honest. I made the choice of not being a smuggler, right? That's a choice that I made. It's not right or wrong. I cannot say I'm very virtuous, so I made the choice. For whatever reasons, you made the choice. That's it. So, first of all, that. Second, doctors start earning late. That's a completely different thing. Third, doctors feel intellectually challenged when you tell them that you can just put money in an index fund. They will not accept simple solution. Most doctors won't. Even successful doctors won't. Some successful doctors do. Some successful doctors also learn about investing the right way. Not by signing up with somebody who says, oh, I will pick up stocks for you, I will do this for you, I will teach you. No, it doesn't work that way. So they're really interested in doing it, and therefore they do stock picking. However, even doctors who do stock picking make a huge mess of their personal finances. One, they run up huge amount of debt apart from the debt that they incur to get into college and study. So that is also true, because the costs are very high. If it costs you 2.5-3 crores, the question is how much can your parents fund, how much is funded by debt, and there is no question of self-funding, right? So they rack up a lot of debt, and then they believe that because they are a doctor, they have to constantly upgrade their car. So they may start their life with a Zen or something like that, or Alto, but very, very quickly they will be into much more expensive cars, maybe even a car costing 2 to 4 crores, and there is absolutely no proof that they can afford it, because all of this is today available on installments. So they rack up that. They earn well, which somehow for them translates into, oh, because I earn well, I can spend well. Not true in this country. Because you earn well, you pay a lot of taxes, and there is really very little left much to spend. So it's largely a choice between spending and investing. So I'm not saying you give up all your spending, but do your investment first and invest and spend the balance. Some doctors are very sane, and they will look after their money very properly and have a plan, go to a planner, and or do it themselves. But they will have a plan. They would have made their will. They would have had their nominations in place. But too many doctors are misled by groups of people willing to say, oh, you're a doctor, we specialize in doctors. Not true. Not true. A lot of people have lost money. I met one person. I'll just tell you the profession. He's an opthal, and he was advised by some other fellow doctors. I don't need to get into more details. So he put 60% of his liquid net worth or 65% of his liquid net worth into few shares, and those shares just tanked. He's lost a lot of money, and he's an employee doctor, not a practicing doctor. And he's been taken to the cleaners, and he is 58 years of age, or 57 or 58 years of age. At that age, you cannot afford to take so much of risk just because you found a glib talking wealth manager or specializing in doctors or what have you. Second, the other problem for doctors is they have kind of a God kind of complex that I'm here to solve the world's problems, so I can't have a problem. Completely wrong. Doctors who are very good practicing doctors, whether they are an opthal or psychiatrist or a neurosurgeon or a pediatrician, it doesn't really matter. You may be very good in your profession, but does not mean that your profession allows you to create wealth. Even for doctors practicing on their own, many of them cannot bring to their heart a willingness to charge more. You have to be willing to charge more. You have to spend a lot of money in marketing. Doctors don't spend money in marketing, and marketing is essential for pricing. I can't price myself high if I do everything myself. If to price myself, I need to have 4 vice presidents who will tell the world that Subra is the greatest trainer, and I need to do a lot more flashy things to up my training fee. Same is true for doctors. You need to spend money on marketing, you need to play golf, you need to meet the right kind of people, you need to do all that. A doctor who is not willing to do all that will always be afraid of pricing, and so be it. That's a choice you made. But if you don't do pricing, you don't have enough money, and that money is not getting managed well. So largely, yes, mounts of debt, God complex, that I know how to solve the problem, I don't need any help, and intellectually being superior, they don't have any patience to deal with finance professionals, and the persons whom they meet are absolute low-end salesmen coming from mutual funds or agents or insurance agents. So obviously if you only meet them, then you have no clue what is the quality of people that is there available in the BFSI space. So you don't even know whom to meet. So you meet the worst. You meet a lot of wolf, but they all come with a sheep clothing. So wrong choice of advisors saying, sir, I will give you F&O tips, you can buy in the morning, sell in the evening, make money. I know one doctor who's taken to the cleaners, he lost 4 crores. Let me repeat, 4 crores, and not now 10 years back when F&O was introduced. The father paid up very quietly. It was the son who lost money, must have been 27, 28, maybe 30. Son lost the family money. Father quietly paid up the whole thing, sent the son away to some other place, and then brought him back, but completely claimed bankruptcy, saying, look, I can't pay more than this. All those dirty things happened. Hello, doctor, you're trained to be a doctor. Don't try to come into wealth management unless you want to make it your profession. The easiest way for a doctor to manage his wealth is to seek the help of one expert and choose mutual funds, not by direct equity. Unfortunately, there are some cases where doctors have made money. Why am I saying unfortunately? Is because these people become the marketing beacons. Like you have Amway salesmen. So you have these guys who go and say, look, I did this. It may or may not be true. I know one doctor who goes around saying, I'm a great investor. Actually, his brother is a member of the stock exchanges. He manages the money, this guy takes the credit, and he gets a lot more money for it to be managed by the family. So be very careful as to who is talking, what has he done, what has she done. All that is very important. See who is marketing, what is the reason that they are marketing. So you can keep it simple. You can invest in an index fund, but at least you should know how to make a financial plan, how to make a will. All that is part of personal finance. So don't let your ego allow you to kill your wealth. Don't allow your ego to decide which car you should be driving, or which shirt you should be wearing, or where you should be going on a vacation. So whether you're a doctor or anything, but you are specifically for doctors, one, keep your ego under control. How much money you make is not a function of your intelligence, it's a function of your discipline, of your asset allocation, of your ability to understand markets and stay calm. Even assuming that you know how to pick stocks, it does not mean that you know how to make a financial plan, how to go as per goals, to how to make a will, what is the need and importance of a nomination. You know none of these things. For this you need a professional. Don't think you will do all this. No professional does all this unless his main profession is a 3-hour, 4-hour job. If you have a 24-hour job, or if you have a 15-hour job, or even if you have a 10-hour job, you will not find enough time to do this dull, boring, mundane things, and somebody has to do it. If you're not interested, why would you do it? I don't do it. I've outsourced it to an agent. It makes sense for me to do that. Why would I try to do something which I don't enjoy doing? Right? That's a good question to ask. So if you're a doctor and you enjoy it, great. Otherwise, thank you.